Hello YouTube, we're back for another review. We're playing a tempo versions of Faeries, and we're playing Temur Saga, kind of. They're playing kind of a aggro tempo, kind of. Don't really know what they're doing. They're doing a little bit of different things. So, but we're gonna kind of look and see where they go with it. So we see this. We see double land, 2 drowns, snap, and 2 bowmasters. So we're happy here. We can do a lot. If they try to cantrip out, we then play the bowmasters. Really not happy with the snapcaster here. Doesn't really belong. And then the drown won't turn on for a couple turns here. So we're definitely okay with this setup, and it's definitely keepable because of the bowmasters. And bowmasters is just strong. It finishes games. So if you haven't tested this, definitely do. So we have a judgment call here. We can either play the Bitter Blossom. We see blue, so we're kind of like, ooh, we don't know what we want to do here. But we're going to go ahead and slam Blossom here because that's what we do. So we'll grab a basic. So he then grabs Steam Vents. So we think we're playing like Morningtide or something like that. So Stubborn Denials, which we thought would happen. So if we would have just played the Orcish Bowmasters or held on to this, he couldn't Stubborn Denial it. So he got one on us. He then switched Shadow Spears. He passes turn. We get Tar Pit, and we just wait. So now he Tar Fires. So now I'm thinking, anytime you see Tar Fire, you're thinking Tarmogoyf. Okay, we haven't seen green yet, but we're thinking Tarmogoyf, because things, or maybe even Delirium of some sort. So he could be playing like a Temur, but right now we haven't seen green yet. But maybe he's trying to get Delirium going on. Maybe he's playing, DRC, that kind of a shell. So we'll just see. So he Tar Fires to the face, which is interesting. So, and we wonder why he's kind of doing that. So why so aggressive? Don't really know. But we just let it go off. We don't really mind it. We don't have an active Bitter Blossom right now, so we're not worried about our life. And we're really happy we didn't throw Bowmasters out there first to get shot by that. So he's going to make a dude. It's going to come in as a 2/2. So we need to keep that in mind. So we're going to throw the Snapcaster out here because we have nothing in there, and it's just kind of bait. That's really what we're doing here. It also can block this 2/2. So when he makes it. So we're going to get in here, see if he... So he takes, and then he makes the token. So, and as he makes the token, we then bounce the token. He's going to grab something. Forget what he grabbed. He grabbed the extra mana for the Spring Leaf, which is something we see today. It's kind of like a little cheap ramp. He also could have grabbed a Pithing Needle, which Pithing Needle is really good, for him to grab because I can't counter the Pithing Needle, and I have no way to deal with the Pithing Needle other than the Brazen Borrower here. So he then plays Question Druid. This obviously gets bigger as the game goes on, but it's just a 1/1 for 2, nothing huge. So we then get a land. We play land. We kill this token because it's getting too big. We then Bowmasters this away because we can right now. He had no mana, he's tapped out, so there's no reason not to just throw it out there and give us basically 4. So he Expressive Iterations, trying to dig. He's frantic now. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just trying to find answers. He looks at land. This is the bad part of this card right here, is when you're down. Yeah, he might need his 4th land. This is not what you want to be doing. you know, yeah, you got your 4th land, but you don't want to do that. He Pithing Needles for Tar Pit. So he probably didn't go get it, probably because he had it in hand. So that's probably ended up what happened. So we swing for 4. We choose. We're ahead at this point, but we want to be reactionary. So we know he's going to draw a card off this. This is where Bobble actually really stinks. Is we know he's going to do that. So we have the Bowmasters coming down, and if he draws at all anymore, we're not going to have to worry about it. So he then he Unholy Heated our Orcish Bowmaster as well. So he's not going to expect this, or he's not going to like it. Same thing with this. Now, there's a big argument that I should have played Orcish Bowmasters when he played this Chromatic Star, because he's going to then draw a card based on it, but when he pops it, of course. But also, if he doesn't pop this during his main phase, I know he's not going to get the mana. So what is more important is the mana that he's going to create from this. Is it more important, the color shift, or the card draw? And so I just decided to wait there. I decided to do this in the turn, knowing that if he pops this, he wastes mana, basically, which is good for me during my turn. So, and I'm gonna say that that is more important, because he has to draw a card off a Bobble because he popped it. So he's gonna take 1. He'll go to 4. He'll go to 5, and then we have a 2/2, 2/1, and a 1/1 coming at him. It just wins. So Orcish Bowmasters, big thing. It just closes out games. It handles the mid game well, and it just closes games out like this to where notice he's at 1 card. We're at 3 cards, and the only way he's going to come back in this game is to draw cards. And Orcish Bowmasters completely stops that from happening, or for a price. So we're happy with this. So we get the win here. So pretty interesting deck. Obviously, it is a deck that Urza Saga is going to run through with a Questing Druid kind of spice to it. But Urza Saga deck, it's good. We are playing the tempo version, so we're happy with that too. Alright. So he lands Springleaf Drones. We see everything but the Fatal Push. So these hands are much harder to to think about. You have to think real hard about it. And basically, when I see a hand like this, that is all 1-drops. You know, we got a Sleeper's Fairy, we have all bunches of blue stuff, we have Snare in there to hold off, plus we're on the draw. So we're up a game, we're on the draw. So we can lose this game quite easily and be okay with it because we have game 3. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a risk. We have Threat, we have Draw, we have Counterspell, and then if we draw into another land, another black land, obviously we go with the Fatal Push, and just another land in general is going to give us bounce off the Borrowers. We can hold him back for a while, and the bounce is really good for Urza Saga. So even if he does it with just another land, we can hold off the Saga for a moment, for maybe 2 turns. That will give us a 3rd land, and hopefully that's a black source, and then just go from there and snowball. That's kind of what we're looking for this. So, and that's exactly what we do here. So we Sleepy, get our Threat. He then Urza Saga. He then Unlicensed Hearse. This is a good card. It doesn't get played enough in Modern, but it's very good. So, but it's also quite expensive for Graveyard Hate a little bit, and the fact you have to crew for it. All right, so he then has 3rd land, Springleaf Drum, when he needs it. So we opt. we are valuing our third land drop here more than anything, but we also want to threaten counterspell here. So we know he's not going to do anything turn 3 here. We know he's going to go then find Pithing Needle or whatever. But we, and we get our Black Source if we want it, and we just picked up this. So, getting our third land drop is number 1. We have that. Now we're rolling. We can do basically whatever we want. Hopefully we get a 4th land there, which we draw into, which is cool. So plan successful. Okay. So he's going to grab both of those cards out of that. He's going to make a dude. We bounce the dude. So we don't use our kill spell yet. We just bounce because we get the other version of this too. Oh boy. I screwed up. Oh no, I hit the button too many times. Hit the wrong button. We grab this just so he doesn't do anything crazy. And then we just bounce his dude. Nothing crazy. He then creates another dude and goes gets his thing. So, and then he grabs Bobble, he pops Bobble. So, in this case scenario, we have a lot of options here. We can untap Sleepy. We can bounce the token. We can drown the token. We can push the token. We can Subtlety. And then we can Spell Snare on top of this. So we end up bouncing token here because everything bounce. The only other thing that's really, really worth bouncing is this Unlicensed Hearse to get it away, but it's not doing anything crazy to us now. We haven't utilized our graveyard, and if we keep sending these things on the adventure, we're not going to have to worry about it. So the question is do we untap Sleepy? Is the damage that important here? He has nothing going on. The Urza Saga's gone. He has the Unlicensed Hearse that he's not going to untap with because we'll just kill it with the Fatal Push or a Drown. What is he going to do here? So he does have 6 cards in his hand. That's the biggest thing he has going for him. Urza Saga is again. We don't have to worry about that the first time. Questing Beast, Spell Snare. So also could have, if this didn't cost 2, I could just Fatal Push. I obviously don't have anything to trigger Revolt, but don't have to worry about that too much. We then naturally turn 5 swing. He goes to 12. So, and this for Sleepy is really nice. He hung out. He's done. He's so mana intensive what he's doing that Sleepy, even if he has a Lightning Bolt, he can't do it, or he misses out with something else. So we untap. He then pulls that card. So we end the turn. Now we have some decisions. He bobbles. Pops Bobble. He knows what our draw is going to be. So we have a choice here. We can Subtlety. We decide to Abraya. He then tokens. So we don't have a whole lot of... We have... enough things that we want to do, but we want to see. So he Tarfires Abraya, which is good for him. So, and he taps this, so he has 3/3. And he goes. So as he does this, probably should have done this earlier. He's tapping for mana, so he has a blue on top of this. So we're thinking they can counter something, but he also has this. So we're going to move phases. Move phases as soon as possible. He used that blue for the Shadow Spear, which we let him do. So this is what we're doing. So he has 4. We're going to play the Borrower. We're going to put 6 power on board. We're going to pressure him. We draw land. We can cast 2 spells or the 1. So we're going to pressure. We can even take this hit. What we can't take this hit on is the Shadow Spear. Him gaining life really hurts. But it's not the end of the world either. So he is at 2. He can't draw out of this, which is the important thing here. And then we attempt right now, when he has, we make him have it now. We don't let him to untap. We don't let him do anything. We make him have it now. So we'll see. He does have it, and we're okay with that. Okay, so, oh no. So he tar fires this. Oh boy. This thing keeps moving back and forth. So we have a Brazen Borrower. We then attack, take him down to 3. Go to 2 with the Bowmaster. And then we try to make him have it now. Stubborn Denials, we're cool with that. Yeah, see him every time he does that. Maybe I should just do this. By showing his graveyard like that, or my graveyard like that, it screws up my thing. So he attacks. We take here. We take because we still have lethal on board. We have 8 on board. He has a 7 life. We have a subtlety. We don't feel that bad, but he then tar fires the borrower. So now we're kind of like, okay, so he had something. So he obviously can't take the Sleepy out, which is nice, but it's still a 3-power creature. We then got a Tar Pit. So this will be good later. So we know it's not over yet. We keep the token to chump. We attack for 4. We take him to 3. The reason we don't do this is because blocking at this point is more effective. And if we would draw like a Bitter Blossom or something like that, we'd be fine. He's tapped out. He can't make any more mana. If he has, this is my question, because we can't take any more damage and we want to be able to win on the crackback, we go ahead and play the Subtlety now to make him have 2 forms of removal before we do that. Because even if he gets rid of one of these creatures, we block, we do this, we have 4, and then I have Brazen Borrower and a Tar Pit up. So even if he has 2 removal spells for this and this, we still do 7 next turn, and we take him down to 2. So we're still we're going to win on the crackback here. At least we feel like we're going to, and we kind of can't. We have to keep playing on that edge. The thing that we have to keep in the back of our mind is that this unlicensed Hearse can get through and is lethal if we allow it to be. So this also takes away anything counterspell. I don't think he's playing counterspell, but who knows? The only counterspells we saw is Stubborn Denial. He then Expressive Iteration because he's desperate. He then bobbles. He bobbles knowing if he cracks this, it becomes worse. So he dies on the crackback, and that's why this is why he go ahead and concedes. So this attack right here and leaving this behind it has to happen, and then playing this preemptively has to happen as well. So as much as we want to say we're reactionary, in this particular case, we want to just having a board presence more than him, even with his lifelink and trample. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get through. So, because all we have to do is survive. All we have to do. This is an easy block because he has no other creatures to crew this either. So if he played another creature or something like this, like we're in trouble here. But we got there. Yeah. So anyway, that's a review. It was a good game. It was good to see a different deck of kind of a Urza Saga Temur kind of deck with and I'm pretty sure he's playing like DRC and possibly Ragavan. We just didn't see it. So who knows though? Who really knows? So anyway, thanks for stopping by. definitely subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Appreciate it. See me on Twitch. So, anyway, I will see you later.